Please, can we get some focus going on of my beautiful boy up here? What are we focused on? The basket, and not exactly. You've got a piece of green string hanging on your face there, dude. Do you know that? Yeah, well, he says, who cares? So, anyway, talking about snakes at this particular point, and you know me, and I'm always on about, are we focused? Please, camera. I do not have, as you can see, it's rather dark up there. Are you not? Are you just chilling? Hey, you're just chilling? Well, okay, you're moving a little bit. Sorry to disturb you, dude. I might go over to Lily, and we will try and see what Miss Lily is doing. It's a chill Sunday, and it's a bit chilly, I must say, today. But yes, I'm always going on about better care for our snakes. It is high priority for me to be doing that. I'm going to flick my little Miss Myah's light on, and let's see if we can have a look in there and see what's going on. Checking in on the plants, because people have spoken to me about good luck with keeping the plants alive. And so far, so good. They do seem to be doing perfectly fine in the enclosure, so I'm pleased about that. Of course, these particular parlour palms have been given such a hard time, guys, with Myah sleeping on them, moving them apart, you know, just annihilating them, you could say, and they're still doing really well. Now, I was a little bit concerned about the actual moisture, or the amount of moisture that one has to, you know, have in there to keep your plants maintained, and you know, the humidity level. I really only water the plants a couple of times a week with a very slight misting. I don't, you know, drown them in any way, shape or form. And I tend to leave this door open for a little while after I've done it as well, just so that the humidity can escape a bit more. Really, at this particular point, I can't fault it. It seems to be doing fine. I was nearly stuttering over that, was I not? But better care. You know, did I do this environment for Myah to say to myself, I'm doing better care for her? Possibly. I would see it that way. Now, I could only say it as in, would it be better care for her? Well, seeing her behaviour when I put the pot plant in, and seeing her pretty much, I'm going to lift this up so we can see my girl there. There she is. Seeing her behaviour and laying in her potted plant all of the time kind of gave me the impression that she liked the feel of the dirt on her or under her. Now, I will also say what I have noticed, and you know, this has only been a week in, guys, but on about the third day, I offered Myah a feed. Now, Myah has never been one that I would ever call enthusiastic about her feeding. She was one where I would just put it on the ground. She would go over to it and she would find the head and start to eat it. But never really been overly one that would strike, bite and constrict her food. Man, did I see a completely different behaviour from Myah. You know, the first meal in here, she could not get to that feeder fast enough where she struck it, bit it, constricted it and ate it. And like I said, I have not seen Myah do this or do that behaviour for a long, long time. Now, is that just coincidence with the change of environment? I don't know. But it will be interesting to see how she decides to take her next meal and if she will do the same behaviour. I was really quite stunned at her doing this because, like I said, she's not been ever enthusiastic when she was younger, yes, but not for a long time. And yes, I do like to drop feed, but I occasionally like to see them strike and bite and have that, yeah, I'm hungry. And my snakes are never left long enough that I would say that they're starving, hungry, and yeah. So yeah, I was surprised to see her do that. So do I think that so far, having done this, is certainly maybe something that has offered better care to my snake. Now, she's the first one I've tried it with. The next one that I'm actually going to be doing it with, and not in the same manner, is going to be Archie, who is still somewhere up there. Maybe he's moved a little. He has, but not to anywhere where I can actually see him any more than I was able to see him prior. I'm going to offer it to Archie, but he's going to have more core peat and cypress mulch and some hemp bedding put in there, and of course some moss laying around and so forth. You know, he comes from a much drier area in Australia. They still get some element of humidity when it rains and so forth, but otherwise it's a very, very dry environment for him. So adding plants I will do, probably only a parlour palm and a couple of pothos, because I want to minimalistic water them, and I can get away with doing that about once a week in Archie's. So yeah, and doing Archie's will be really quite easy to do compared to doing Myah's with all the gravel and all the rest of it. I won't need to put a tarp, or I may put a layer of drainage in there, though I really do not believe that I'm going to need it. I'm sorry that I'm just on a bottom of an enclosure and not really on anything else, am I? because Lily pretty much came out and went straight up. Sometimes she hangs down with me for a while, and she decided not to, so getting the camera out would have been yeah, pretty much useless with her at that particular point. Sorry. Archie, I'm still trying to actually see where his head has actually gone on. That's his tail end coming back, so he's heading back the other way. I don't think anybody else is actually out, guys, but you know, I am. Oh yeah, Mr. Oscar is, but it's pretty dark in here, of course. But you know, oh, there he is. You see, laying on his pot plant, and he can't fit in this one, but he does spend time going to it and yeah, laying his head on that pot. So I also think that Oscar is going to enjoy it, and especially he will still continue to have a moss box because he likes getting in the box, but there will be moss on the ground. So his enclosure will be built very much set up very much the same as what Myah's is at the moment. So you know, I've improved, I feel, by also putting in the infrared heat lamps and not the bulbs, you know, the deep heat. And my snakes are loving it, guys. They really are loving it. I see Archie under his. I also have the same setup there for, I have to think, a Pani, and I have got one, and I keep saying ready to go into cars. But life does get busy, but I am continually trying to think of ways that will give better care to my snakes. I just don't stick them in something and say, well, that's going to do you forever. I do not believe that at all. And little Mr. Carr, you will see, he was out for his photos yesterday and did really, really well. The little snakes, as I said, were very difficult, but that's okay. I expected that. So, better care, guys. In the end, what really is better care? And I do believe it is environment and what we put in with our snakes, instead of putting nothing in there for our snakes. I would like to see things for them to climb and to lay on and to explore. I think, and it doesn't matter what it is, guys. An old box, a tub with a hole in it and paper towels shoved in it, scrunched up. You know, I picked up this palm leaf from outside and put that in with Oscar. He can go under it, he can go over it. I've also, of course, put some cypress mulch on this side, and he's got his paper towels over here. So he has a choice of underbelly feeling, you know, textures and things like that are extremely satisfying to your snakes' mental well-being. It's about their mental well-being, and by doing things within their enclosure for them, changing things and putting things in there, switching things out, you know, that is adding more and more enrichment and things that they may possibly like or may not like. So I will forever probably persist on talking about better care, and that being environmental. I haven't even gone into the external matter of that, though you all pretty much know what that does actually mean. So this video has gone on way too long with me yapping as it does. So from me and Car at this particular point, we will say goodbye, and you all take care. And yes, I will of course chat to you all again real soon. You're looking at Mum now. So ciao.